Welcome back to another episode of the SiXFramesPodcast.
Woo! Hey, we're in here. What happened?
No, I like the awkward pause.
Oh, okay.
Well, as always, Kevin.
All right, Jamal here.
You got Jacob.
Zed, I'm back.
Hey.
It's been a while, man.
From his long voyage.
Across the 7 seas.
I was like Tom Hanks in Castaway. I was gone.
He finally made it. Welcome back, Zed.
Yep.
Welcome
Glad
back.
to be back.
Now let's just skip the formalities. Let's go to the topics.
Dive right in.
So let's look at our list. We got the Golden Globes animated feature. So Jacob, he checked this out for us, and he saw some of the films that were listed on the Golden Globes list.
Yep.
Yes, what is your gripe so we could hate?
Hate.
Okay, so the nominees are.
Sit down.
Okay. So the nominees are How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World.
Okay. Did any of y'all see that movie?
Nope.
Yes.
The World?
Yes.
This was it. This was like the end
Yeah.
to like How to
Yeah.
Train Your Dragon.
I saw it.
It was good.
It was good.
really
It was a
good.
nice send off to the
I
franchise.
didn't
It was a nice
watch
send
it.
off.
Man.
Okay.
I didn't watch it.
I watched it. It was really nice. It was really nice.
Yeah.
If you get a chance, you should see it.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
The Lion King.
Okay.
Okay. We watched it already. But
They didn't want to claim it to be animation, but whatever. I guess now they.
I guess John Favreau was like, well, they put animation.
Good.
Missing Link.
Missing
Stop motion.
Link, stop motion. The same studio that did Kubo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
One of them voiced by Wolverine himself, right?
Yes, Hugh Jackman. And Zach Galifianakis was the
Link.
Bigfoot.
Okay.
He was Bigfoot.
Oh, yeah.
So he was like, hi guys, how's it going?
Yep, that
Yes,
awkward
yeah.
buddy thing.
Oh, yeah.
Sasquatch.
Yeah.
I'm a Sun Squad. Hi.
Yep. That's exactly how he sounds in the movie. All right.
Toy Story 4.
Woo!
Yep.
Them tears.
Yeah, rough.
It was
What a ride.
Yep.
They might have did some liberties on one of the characters.
Yeah, they really did. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, you know,
But
retcon, whatever.
Not alright.
Made them more than they were. But
They just pushed them to the back. Jesse and Slinkin.
Okay. Well, so far Disney has 3 on the list, right?
And Frozen 2.
Oh, there it is. That's the third one. I don't know why I thought he already said it. Maybe I was trying to rush it so I didn't have to hear it.
So that's the big controversy.
Yep.
It's Frozen 2, a movie that just came out.
Just came out like, what, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
2-3 weeks ago?
That sounds
Today's
about
date?
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's now getting awards.
Already getting awards.
And it's like fresh in people's heads, too. So,
Yeah, I
that's
know.
another thing.
So that'll be the movie they'll think most of when it comes to whatever the voting poll or how they go about picking the winner.
Mhm.
I haven't heard much about it. I mean, is the movie good?
I mean,
or-
I've heard lots of good things about it. People were kind of like raving towards the songs and stuff like
the
that.
music. Okay,
You know
it's
how it
Disney.
is.
Yeah, they always have their music. Zed, you?
Yeah, I didn't see it, but a friend of mine saw it, and she said she really liked it. She thought it was funnier. There were some certain scenes with Anna and Christoph she liked.
Mm-hmm.
She said it was good to give it a shot. I still just haven't had a chance to see it. That's all it is.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
They did say something else about the movie.
Oh.
Come on, give it to us.
Who are we trying to please now?
Give it to us.
Who are we trying to reach out to?
They're like, hey guys, we support you, but we don't really support you.
Easy there, Papa John's.
I ate 40 pizzas in 30 days. What was that stupid video? Do you hear it to Gabriel?
Exactly. So, all right. Well, what? I mean, it's Disney, so they tiptoe
Through the
around.
window.
Yeah, same thing with Lion King. Same thing with Lion King with Timon and Pumbaa. But then they made sure they had them little piglets with Pumbaa, just so you don't get any ideas. Disney's not dumb.
When I was a young warthog. Yes, when he was a young warthog.
Oh, Lord.
Smashing.
Now, earlier,
you gotta do it like
earlier when we were talking about this list, you guys mentioned, well, I think, Jacob, you mentioned another movie that should be in here
Okay.
to replace, I guess, Frozen, since Frozen 2 is still pretty fresh.
Yeah. Well, there are possible choices. Weathering with You. I mean, by the guy who did Your Name. Also Klaus, definitely that thing.
Oh, definitely Klaus. Klaus should be on that
Oh,
list.
It should.
man.
I don't
It
understand
should've.
why it's not, but whatever.
Because it took a long time to make it, right?
Yes.
So
Yes, man. When we were in school,
that deserves.
Yeah.
when we were in school, I remember Raffin used to show us videos of the short that was called The Mailman.
Yeah.
And it was about the mailman from Klaus who was
Yep.
delivering letters. And it was just that little short bit of just the animation and the style. And oh my gosh.
It was great.
I
It was
don't-
amazing.
I don't know.
I
if
didn't even
Jacob,
know it was going to be a full movie. Go ahead, Zay.
I didn't know if Jacob was in the class with you, but I first saw it when Jacob was showing me little clips of it. I was just sitting next to him.
Yeah.
I was just sitting there. I was like, "Oh, what is that? That looks awesome." He's like, "Yeah, it's this new thing that's coming out that's going to be happening." But to answer your question, I think because it's and I'm doing quotation marks here, a Netflix movie, maybe.
Hey.
But then
that's
again,
a-
you've got like that movie that just came out on Netflix with Robert De Niro, The Irishman.
Mm-hmm.
They were playing it in select theaters, so
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
3-hour movie.
Yeah.
Boy, I'm not
Yeah,
seeing
'cause-
that.
when I was moving back down here, I was driving through Lakeland, and I saw theaters. You know, it says
Yeah, no, they had it playing in
next
select
week.
theaters. They did.
Irishman is coming, and I was just like, "Oh, okay, cool."
Yeah. I mean, but again, that's just an excuse. I mean, they should definitely have. They should have had Klaus on that instead of Frozen 2.
Yeah.
Or even if they pulled out Lion King and put Klaus in there and it's like something could have came out. Disney doesn't need 3 slots.
4.
Or 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's way too much. Go ahead.
And there was a last movie. Well, I don't know. Okay, 2 more movies that I kind of thought about.
Mm-hmm.
It was another one called Abominable. Kind of like this Yeti.
Oh, the Yeti one.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. Yeah.
And there was this.
Who was that? DreamWorks?
Yeah.
That
Was it
is.
DreamWorks?
Yeah, it is DreamWorks.
That is
Okay.
DreamWorks. Okay.
And last one, I don't know if it could have been on there, but it won awards, so to speak, from what I've heard. I Lost My Body. It was on Netflix.
Yes.
Yes.
Was that from a French studio?
Yes.
Yes, that was from
I
a French
lost my
studio.
mind. Yeah.
Yes. I watched it.
And that one was really good.
They use Blender. Oh my gosh.
To create that?
Yes, they use Blender.
What?
What's it called?
I Lost My Body.
I lost my body.
Yeah. Lost my body indeed.
but which one is the most popular choice that people wanted?
Well, they wanted Klaus.
They wanted Klaus.
That was all towards Twitter. Like that was like the main choice. And then they brought up Abominable and I Lost My Body. So I was like, yeah, definitely they shouldn't have like cut out these other categories.
Yeah, especially in terms of animation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
because
a lot of them are just like very stylized.
this is not like it's not an award for like best story of an animation or whatever.
Yeah,
This is
it's
just
just
like
animation.
technical stuff,
Mhm.
Yeah.
kinda, or is it all above?
I guess
Just animated film?
yeah, pretty much. It's best motion picture animated.
Okay, so I guess.
I mean, it
the
falls
whole
in the
film
line.
event then.
It falls in the line.
I guess.
Yeah, because I do remember scrolling through Netflix and seeing it. I was like, what's this? I was like, this looks pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of just grabbed it and added it to my queue so I can watch it at a later time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does look good. But yeah, again, something else that they could have put in the place of all these Disney films, especially Frozen 2.
Yeah, homeboy look like Miles Morales, bro.
It actually looks pretty good.
It is.
No, it does. It looks really nice. Yeah, and again, for the listeners, if you guys get a chance, you can check out some of these trailers to some of these animations that Jacob's mentioning. Is there any one in the list that you guys is from the list that they're providing? I know we want other movies in there, but based off the options that they're giving us,
Whoa.
who do you think is worthy of taking home that?
Well,
title?
if we're going like by like just motion picture in general, I could automatically just knock out Lion King. Because
okay,
the animation is like godlike and beautiful.
right, just the
Jesus.
hyper realism with the animals.
Oh my god.
Uh-huh.
But it's not.
Story
But
is
it's not.
good, man. Like the way they handle it, that's what I meant. The way they handle it.
Right.
is not
Okay.
good.
Well, that's fair. That's
So I guess it's personally, I think because I haven't seen Frozen 2 yet.
Uh-huh.
Toy Story 4. I mean, it had its problems too, not gonna lie, but like just everything is just Pixar. Everything feels good, man. It was a feel good movie, like
Yeah.
This
Okay. So Lamb says Toy Story 4.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Kevin.
What? Who won?
No, I'm saying out of the
Who do you
list
think?
that's given, like who do you think should take home the title?
Take home?
Yeah, for animated
Right.
feature, who should win the award?
Yeah, Toy Story.
You're gonna go Toy Story? Okay.
Yeah,
Toy Story
because
4.
like, I think it's gonna kind of like the universe is gonna fix itself type of thing, and it's like they put that in because it's like, oh, it's new and people know this instead of the other stuff.
Right.
And so, but I don't think it's gonna win. But if it does win, it's like okay, now it's just rigged. Even though it's all Disney,
Right.
it's like you're just rigging yourself.
Right. Right. It's a win-win
It's
either
like,
way.
oh, kid,
I know,
don't
right?
look inside till the
You
Golden
know?
Globes come in.
Yeah, because like out of the bunch, Toy Story is, I think, a better movie in sense of like it being technically what it's trying to make.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because How You Train Your Dragon, I think that, I mean, I would say that's what I really want to win. But like, I just like, you kind of know like, they're gonna give it to Toy Story. He's gonna do it because like nobody, they didn't give it to, How You Train Your Dragon 1 or 2.
Right.
So like, they're not gonna give that dragon that could now trophy.
Right.
And if they do, I'll be surprised.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What about
I
you, Zed?
support
The
that.
hair on all the characters in How to Train Your Dragon.
Yes.
Ooh, boy.
Yeah.
Like, it looked good in 2, but when 3 came in, I was
Mhm.
like, that looks like hair.
Yeah.
That looks like hair. That doesn't look like, oh, that's pretty good hair. No, that, like, I could put my fingers through it.
Mm-hmm.
That type of hair. And then there's like the scene where it's like they're going into like this cave with the waterfall,
Mm-hmm.
the mist particles. Oh my
Mhm.
god, it's beautiful. And it's like, it was visually
Oh.
appetizing.
Yeah.
Like it's like going to like one of those like 5-star restaurants and you see through the window and you're watching the baker work. It's like Gordon Ramsay's sitting there right next to you watching as well. He's like, "Oh my god, this is delicious."
He said it's good. It must be
He's like,
good.
"It's good. Let's break in there later and steal this shit."
Well, that's the thing. So hopefully they pick that because they'll be like, it's good, it's delicious, it's beautiful, but we're giving it to that one.
Because Disney.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like McDonald's with a 5-star.
Yeah.
McDonald's late at night. It's all right, but if you wait in line, you get that reservation, dress up a little bit. It's like,
Worth the wait. Gotcha. All right. Well, so Zed's going with How to Train Your Dragon,
Yeah.
from my understanding, and then Jacob, out of this list, who do you think?
How to Train Your Dragon, boy.
How to Train Your Dragon. All
Ooh.
right. 2 and 2.
Oh, that movie was worth it. it like the characters. Oh man, let me not get into it too much. But like, it was just the perfect send off. Like it gave you good vibes of.
They gave you everything.
Right, it gave you a little bit of everything that made you tie up all the loose ends, the potential love interest and all this type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Everything felt well done. Like Toy Story 4, I mean, it was good.
Hey.
Hey.
No, I got you on that. I got you on
I
that.
got
All right.
I haven't looked. I'll tell you this. I haven't watched both of them, but I could tell already
Mm-hmm.
that one is better than the other.
Mm-hmm.
But like the awards.
I know, but we're giving our.
But I know. Keep going. He's spreading that love.
Son, the love I got. And if this was a woman, bruh.
What the heck?
Oh,
Talking about the
all right.
animation features or what?
Can we skip this? Can we skip this man right now?
Jumping to like a whole different subject,
I know,
bro.
right?
No, this is what happens when
Yes,
we don't
man,
have
with
any of
you.
the women present in our when the girls are out.
No, I'm just playing, but like this is definitely top of my list. Like, if it doesn't win, well, we already know, but it deserves the win.
At least something.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
What about you, Mr. Jamal?
Well, I guess I'll be the oddball and play devil's advocate.
He's gonna choose Abominable.
What? Abominable ain't even in the list.
I meant Missing Link.
Missing Link.
She chose Missing Link. I already feel it. I feel it. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, did Kubo win when it was?
No.
Not for Golden Globes. It won something else, I'm sure.
I'm sure for like.
I don't think it won the Oscar.
No.
It wasn't the Grooves that won?
Huh?
The Grooves? The
Cruise?
Oh, no.
Cruise!
Kubo lost to Zootopia.
Yes,
Yeah,
Zootopia.
I remember.
That
was salty.
Kubo
That
was
was
nominated, but
We won again.
Kubo won. Yeah, Kubo lost to Zootopia. That
which
year.
that got me
that
salty.
made
Which I don't think
everybody
is fair.
angry.
Yeah, because I don't think that's fair.
Kubo was
I don't
great.
think that's fair.
Yeah.
I think that studio deserves an award, and I do think it should either be between The Missing Link or How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah.
So
That's
just-
fair.
Yeah,
But again, you
it should
gotta
be
pick
between those two.
you pick the winning horse when you're gonna bet.
That's true. That is true. So, I mean, it would suck if it went to Toy Story. No offense to Toy Story. It was beautifully written, great story. Animation was nice.
Yeah.
I could see the fiber hairs and Woody's fucking jacket, all that. Right? It was of course, they put the money and they invested into it. We know. It's Disney and Pixar. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as as a whole and as a franchise and as a complete story, it should definitely either go to How to Train Your Dragon for that on top of the beautiful animation, or it should go to Missing Link. Just because of the hours and the amount of time and the detail that they do into. I mean, they're the only ones who I think that's really keeping the whole stop motion alive.
Yeah.
Between them and the Wes Anderson films, Isle of Dogs, which was the last one they did that was stop motion. But I think Missing Link should take it. If not, How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah, one of the two.
One of the two. Yeah.
But you pick the black
'Cause it's
horses
always-
of the race.
I know, man. It's just refreshing to see. Even if you don't care for even the story itself, like some of the fight scenes that are in it, because there are some decent fight scenes. Because just to give you a quick glimpse into the film itself, so Hugh Jackman's character, he's explorer, but he's kind of there's a name for it. The people that look for
he's not an archaeologist.
No. There's a special name for it. People that look for mystical creatures that they think don't exist.
Oh, what?
Like people who look for the Loch Ness monster.
What was it called? Shoot.
And the jackalope.
Another...
And Bigfoot. And
what is it called?
I know right now it's on the tip of my tongue.
Oh my god!
You got Google.
I want to say Secret Saturday, bro.
It's like
the cryptid.
They're called cryptids.
Cryptologists.
Cryptologists. There you go.
Yeah.
I don't Google it. See if you can find it.
That's what they're called, the crypts.
Yeah, something like that.
Cryptid creatures.
Study of just put study of Bigfoot and Loch Ness and all that.
Cryptozoology.
Cryptozoology. So yeah, he's a cryptozoologist.
He said crypt. I'm like, hold up.
So he discovered Loch Ness and all these other creatures that no one else can find, and he tracks them and sends back evidence. Right? He doesn't kill them. He just tracks them and say, "Hey, I found it. Here's my proof.
Yeah.
Pay me. Thank you. Now I'll go find the next one." And so there's another group of guys who are actually hunters who kill and take the game back to show their proof. So they get into this scuffle, and it's a race of time to see who can get it back to, the organization first. And so there's this really cool bar scene where they get into a fight with the other guys that come across him and the Missing Link.
Mm-hmm.
And it just looks really nice, man. The way they executed it is so cool. And yeah, if you get a chance, you guys can look it up too for my listeners out there. Check out that fight scene from Missing Link. And I just think it was just beautifully done. It looks so awesome. Zed, you wanted to add on?
So it's, people who actually went to school versus them good old boys who just say, let's shoot it and kill it and take it back home.
Right. Yeah. But definitely check it out. It's really dope. So yeah, those are the nominees. We'll see who wins. When does the Golden Globes air?
I have no clue. I'm gonna look it up.
All this, you don't know what's
all this.
I think it's January. Sometime in January.
Sometime in January, the Golden Globes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we'll be on the lookout. We'll see who wins.
Yeah, January 5th.
January 5th. All right.
Yeah.
We should post a voting poll to see what everyone else thinks, who they should think the winner should be.
And y'all don't choose Toy Story 4. Okay. Have your opinion. Y'all do.
If you choose Toy Story 4,
choose what you like.
Hog tie
don't just go who you think is going to win the obvious choice.
Obviously what you like.
Pick who you like out of the selection, and then we'll see January 5th who actually takes home the award.
But listen, if you're in Vegas, you got to vote for the right horse.
Oh, here you go. Get out of here. Pick what you like. All right. All right. Well, speaking of animation, the VFX studio that worked on Sonic and Lion King,
which is nominated,
which is also nominated. Wow, go figure.
I know, right?
Surprisingly, they are being shut down, which is sad.
It still makes no sense personally. Like, I mean, I understand like how like Kevin explained to me earlier, like how the process worked.
Mm-hmm.
But like even then, it's like how much money did Disney or even like the Sonic team or whoever like made a move for Sonic? Was it Paramount?
I'm guessing.
Was it Paramount?
I think it's Paramount.
Yeah.
Yeah. How much did they pay them to like not only
for
like
that
rework Sonic,
for the rework? I mean, it has to be not nearly as much they're gonna get if the movie comes out.
Then why did they accept the project?
Because it's contract work. So if anybody don't know, it's like a lot of this is contract work. In VFX, especially also animation outsourcing. So they just, for them to work on any project, they just sign a contract and they just give them a set amount. Most of the time they don't even get royalties at all. So,
right.
So when they do something for Sonic and they do it, whatever, they get their money for that work. After that, it probably be in financial trouble already because they all the hard time working on something that they might not even get their money back. So,
damn.
Well, the Sonic redesign reportedly cost Paramount $5 million.
That's it?
Yeah.
5 Oh wait, it's 5 million. I'm sorry. I thought I was thinking 5,000. Like,
I was going to say 5,000.
5,000.
They have like 2 people working on that.
The people that got laid up.
Yeah, I know, right? If that was the case, that thing would have been looking like Crisis on Infinite Earth. Them graphics would not be nice, let me tell you.
Who was that guy ghosted in the beginning? Was that Guardian?
Yeah, whoever.
Sonic would just be on.
He'd be on that glow effect.
He'd be on that glow effect.
Nah, they just blur him the whole movie. Like, he's so fast, your eye can't keep up with him throughout the film. Sorry, y'all.
When they first introduced the reverse flash, it was just this blur with red eyes.
Yeah, that's how Sonic. You would see just a blur with big blue eyes, green eyes. Sorry.
Gotta go fast. Gotta go so fast, can't see me.
I mean, so did they, Jacob? Did they say why they're shutting down, or is it just financial reasons, or they're downsizing, or?
They say fuck it.
Is it because the VFX artists just like had enough?
I mean, I don't think it has something to do with the VFX artists. I'm guessing it's because they wanted to focus on tax incentives and try to save more money.
So it's a cut. It's a budget reason.
Yeah, basically that.
Because this studio has many other studios, right?
Well, yeah, there's different studios that they have, like in London, China for example, and several other places. So this is just one division that they could just shut down like that. But Vancouver is like run with like a lot of VFX studios.
Right.
Because I mean, a lot of people go there. Even the people who work on Flash and Black Lightning, they go to Vancouver to shoot scenes. So it's very important. I mean, I don't know why they had to.
So it's more so like going to the cheapest part, cheapest places possible.
Right, more bang for your buck. I mean, get as much as I can out of the workers, and then once it's said and done, I got my end result. Look beautiful. All right, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Kind of shut them down, to cut budgets. That's terrible. And then we were reading an article that Alexis sent us, and some of the artists were talking about like the crazy hours they were working, 17+ hour days, and they couldn't leave early, or if their day ended after their 8-hour shift, they had to ask permission to go home.
Bro.
Have to ask you to leave the office.
Oh, grown ass man. Excuse me, sir.
First of all, I don't know who these people are, what they were. You know, I get it. You got bills, you got responsibilities, and you don't want to take that chance of,
Sonic's on a time crunch, but
right.
Hey, man,
And
I gotta go home.
Right, you don't want to get fired and it looks bad on you, but bitch, I'm grown. If I want to leave after 8 hours, I guarantee I am getting up after I've completed my job for the day and walking out that goddamn door. And if you standing in the way,
you barbecue Becky then? Like, where you leaving?
I know, right? I'm sorry to tell you, sir, but we finna have problems.
Where are you going? I'm going on a smoke break. 8 hours later. All right, I'm back.
Yep, come back the next morning. All right, smoke break's over.
They just want you to sleep in that studio.
Yeah, exactly. That's crazy, man.
For what? All it is
I better have king-size beds.
Forcing them to do overtime, and then they had to come in on the weekends.
Mm-hmm.
And if you didn't want to work the weekend, you had to have like a written reason, like a valid excuse as to why you couldn't come in.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm tired. It's not a valid excuse.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
I'm not coming in because I'm not scheduled, and I don't feel like coming in. I don't need to give you more reason than that. You gonna come to my house and drag me out of bed? Come on. Come right on down and knock on the door.
Why aren't you here?
Hey, I brought your computer.
Hi,
we need your house to be our render farm.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't understand. And they just bully these poor people.
Mm-hmm.
And who knows half of their, situation and living arrangements, especially being a VFX studio and being an artist at that, because I'm sure they don't get paid that much.
Nope.
They're just abusing these damn people.
Bro,
especially since you're not getting royalties for this.
Right.
And you're probably not going to get credited, so...
Yeah, which has been like an ongoing theme lately with artists not getting credit for animations they work on.
Yeah, that's a crazy thing that's happening too.
Right. And what was the other one that just happened?
The Green Eggs and Ham.
The Green Eggs and Ham animation on Netflix. Like, those artists didn't get credit for it.
Mm-hmm.
That makes no sense, man. That's crazy. What were you going to say, Kevin?
No, it's just that's just the main source is like you work as a team in this any type of project, and then after you're done, they just don't even care. They just pick the 5 people that were in your group and they just credit them and then forget the rest.
Right. And let's give it to the top main ones and everybody else who helped. Too bad.
Too bad. Yeah.
Not putting your name in the credits.
That costs money.
What?
He's a lollipop.
Yeah, exactly.
His lollipop, thick forking.
Right.
Okay, so Technicolor, that's the owner of MPC, the motion picture studio company, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So they decided to close it down because I guess, a statement from them saying that increasing external market pressures in Vancouver, as well as attractive opportunities in other locations, as the reason why they shut down that division. So basically, they're trying to expand their division in London. So that's what they're thinking about focusing on next.
So no transfer?
Nope.
No, I mean some of these guys, some of these VFX guys, they work in like Life of Pi. So that treatment again.
Oh man.
Oh my God.
They went through that same thing with Life of Pi, getting fired, then getting brought back, and then now you're getting fired again.
And that's why they were trying to unionize.
Yeah.
So
and when companies hear that word union, time to go. Let's scoot you right on out of here.
Let's fire them quick.
Yeah, exactly. We don't need you getting right.
Before they talk about equal pay, and vacation days, and dental.
Mistreated, and dental.
Wow.
And you know the messed up part? You know when I said that they're trying to grow in London? They're trying to do that next year.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, they already had plans.
Wow, they planned this already. They're like,
already knew.
All right, so
they had a schedule. As soon as they fixed this movie, we find everybody. That's exactly how that meeting went.
Oh, it's 5 o'clock.
Right? It's 5 o'clock.
It was like that.
Guess who ain't getting that turkey this year for Christmas?
Oh,
sorry, little Timmy. No ham for you.
Okay, Father.
Scrooge McDuck in this bitch.
It's like that Jim Carrey movie where he had to tell everybody the company forced him to go on live television to say that everybody in the company is fired.
Oh God. Yeah. Get them out.
And then they forced themselves to life of crime.
Yeah. I remember that. I remember that movie with Jim Carrey. That's a funny movie.
Fun with Dick and Jane.
Yep, Fun with Dick and Jane, and they tried to rob the bank, and And he was trying to find these little odd jobs here and there, and he was at Home Depot jumping on people's trucks to help cut grass and paint houses. That's how they gonna be.
And man, visual effects artists, man, they live a revolving door.
Yeah.
Going and getting fired, getting fired. That's a tough job.
It's not even steady.
No, it's not.
It's not.
It's not. It sucks. And then a lot of times, too, they outsource to these other countries where it's cheaper. And
yeah, like they have one in China.
Yeah.
Yep.
More people means cheaper labor. So everybody needs a job in China, so let's outsource. Let's use them. Let's use their company. It'll cost us less money. Mm-hmm. And we'll still get, the same quality of work done.
That's why we
probably
don't
half
have
the time.
That's why we don't have a job in the industry.
I'm telling you, man.
You know. Oh, sorry. This is kind of like a parallel to when we were in school, and they started cutting down like VFX classes.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. So there were like limited VFX professors and animation professors teaching VFX students. So I'm like, oh boy, this is the signs to come.
It is the end times.
Yeah.
Yeah,
struggle nation.
They merged them. That's what they like to say.
Yeah, then we merged the departments. Now you're all under animation.
Yeah. Even though it's two different things.
Right, so I gotta learn animation and VFX and video editing and audio. All right.
Yeah.
Oh boy, here we go. Well, best of luck to them. I hope they figure it out.
They'll find their job. They'll find something. They're talented as they did Lion King and
I mean the resumes that speak for themselves. So that'll carry a lot of weight. Just saying, I work for Disney and this is what I did. So I hope they can get right.
And they could talk about Sonic. That'll be like, you did the remake. Oh, you're accountable and responsible.
No. Well, for the remake, we made it look good, yes, but that was the producer's decision to make him look like whatever that was the first time. A dog with teeth. I don't know what that with human teeth. Get out of here with
It looked
that.
like someone took a shovel and dented his head, and that's why the eyes were so separated.
Oy.
It's like, oh look, there's Sonic. A ting.
That's a gruesome description.
I mean, you could have just said he looked like the ice cream pop.
I look the ice cream popsicle with one eye looking up, the other one looking sideways,
Right,
and just
melting down on the
I got Sonic. Yeah, come on.
I'll take that over the movie. Sure.
Right, at least I know what I'm getting.
It's like, this ain't Spider-Man, it's Sonic.
That's what we should get when we go to that movie. They give a free
I wish.
and
that'd be
Sonic
awesome.
ice.
that will make everybody go to the movie.
If you buy a ticket, you get a free Sonic Ice Pop. Come on down.
That's two gumballs, man. Come on.
I'll buy 2 tickets. I want 2 of these.
Sitting in there, dripping everywhere.
I'll be dancing like that guy at the KFC with the 2
Two ice
Sonic
cream
Pops.
sticks.
Just dancing.
So
You have to sit down for the film. I'm dancing through this whole movie while eating my ice cream.
Exactly. I'm about to enjoy all this garbage right now.
All right. The popsicle stick while I'm at it.
And they both say you win a free popsicle.
Oh boy.
Well, in light of all this, the Video Game Awards recently took place.
Even though it was still disappointing.
Yeah. What do you mean?
It was. They didn't really announce anything.
Oh, you mean as far as like new games?
Yeah.
Hey.
Okay.
They announced the
I mean,
PlayStation
My
5, right?
My Crush Dream from Telltales,
Uh-huh.
R.I.P. Wolf Among Us 2 is officially happening. So
That's awesome. That's dope.
I'm
happy to hear.
You
Wolf
saw
Among Us
how I
too.
was on the chat.
Yeah.
Kevin had to tell me to chill. I was excited.
No, that is good. I am happy to hear that Wolf Among Us 2 is happening. I mean, how did that work that though? Because isn't Telltale
the studio that took over for The Walking Dead is what I heard
is going to be doing Wolf Among Us?
Which is what the theory was. Is I think it's Skybound who took over.
Mm-hmm.
They said if the final season of the Walking Dead Telltale series does well with Skybound, they might pick up other Telltale. So that means The Wolf Among Us, the Batman, because when you do season 2 of the Batman, it says to be continued, or let's because there's multiple endings.
Right.
If you let Joker live, it'll say John Doe will return in the next series or whatever you choose.
Right, whatever your outcome is. Okay, all right. So we'll have to see what happens with that.
So the revival of Telltale, kind of,
just under
sort of, different name. All right, we'll see where that goes. That was one. For me, it was I get Hellblade, right? That one looked cool. I'm kind of looking forward to that one. Was there any other games they announced?
What was it? Ghost?
I don't know.
Sucker Punch. That one.
Yeah, Sucker Punch Studios is working on that samurai game.
She's cool.
Ghost of Tsushima. Something like that. Yeah, Tsushima.
I have a question for that. When you play it, would you play it in English or in Japanese? In Sekiro.
I mean, there's options to change it to Japanese.
Okay. You want to go full Wii or you want to go dub?
Well, let me tell you something. Everybody that plays Sekiro always put it on Japanese.
Because it just sounds really good.
Authentic.
Yeah, it just sounds authentic.
Okay.
And if I play this game, which I'm sure I probably will, I'm going to keep it in Japanese. Because I want it to affect the era and the culture and where it takes place. So yeah, Zed?
Stars.
That's right. Resident Evil 3.
Yeah.
They announced Resident Evil 3.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, they had a nice little teaser for it.
With the former president of Platinum Games working on it. Capcom got him back, and they gave him a nice new little studio to work on the game.
Okay.
So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool that they brought him back. One of the OGs who helped create the original Resident Evil game. So anything else?
No More Heroes.
Yes, No More Heroes 3. That looked really good. I've never played any of the
games.
The No More Heroes. Yeah, I never played any of them.
Those are amazing. No More Heroes. I mean, I hope when No More Heroes 3 comes out, that Nintendo does the remake again.
Yeah, like a pack.
Yeah, because they did it already for the PlayStation 3, which it was alright. It was cool because you get to play with the controller for the first time.
Right.
But I hope that the Switch gets No More Heroes 1, 2, because they already did the little platformer one with the 2 players. It's called No More Heroes something.
I forgot what it's called.
Yeah. But I hope they re-release both games so everybody could play it.
Yeah, before the third one comes out.
Yeah.
That'll be smart.
Because the last 2, man, especially 2, shit went everywhere, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so seeing Travis, with a beard, was that him in the teaser? Or that's somebody else?
I think that was, I don't even know.
I didn't even know? I don't even know either, but if that's Travis, I was like, damn, what happened to him? So I can't wait. That's a very sleeper, because now it's like only the fans keep that series alive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's what's up.
Very loyal. Very loyal.
And then the other game that I think that everyone in here is looking forward to is the Fast and the Furious.
No. No way.
I can't even say that
with the greatest game ever coming to the PS2. Tekken.
Tekken.
Oh,
I remember staying up night playing Tekken with you.
Tekken and fighting games. So yeah, that trailer.
That was woo.
I mean, if you're looking to do an internship, what studio is putting this together?
I'm gonna see that myself.
Is this one of those movie to video games that died out a long time ago?
That has to be.
You know what's funny? It looks like it's not a movie tie-in game, but it is a movie tie-in game.
Yeah, in the same respect,
it has all the tropes of not looking good, not looking clean
Not looking promising.
at all. It's just,
This is gonna be the game that you play before the official movie happens.
it's just like
The rush release before the movie so you can get you hyped.
it's like when
Get
they
outta
released
here.
the Green Lantern. They released the Green Lantern game.
That's not promising at all.
This ain't gonna be like that X-Men Origins Wolverine where the video game was better than the movie.
Oh man.
Oh no. Because this is not even part of the movie. This is their own universe.
It's because they did Hobbs and Shaw. They had to put a filler in between it. That's what this is with the video
Speaking
game.
of which, I guess they can't afford The Rock. What's
That's
his
why they
name?
got in the Dwayne Johnson.
That's why he's
you
not
missed
in the
a bullet.
game, but it's okay. It's okay.
You missed
He's
a
in his
bullet,
mobile
my
app.
friend.
Ludacris is not in it.
Yeah, Ludacris.
Ludacris is not in it.
Maybe he saw how it was going and he was like, you know what?
They thought that.
They came to Ludacris and he asked for too much and they went to him and said, "How low can you go?"
So the game is going to be called Fast and Furious Crossroads.
Lord help us.
And it's
Original.
set to release May of 2020.
That is too early. They need like 3
Fast
more
and
years.
Furious Crossroads.
They
I'm
need
trying
10.
to see
What are you
now.
talking about?
Hold on. When they announced this, is this part of the new Xbox
Series
game,
X?
Yeah, Series X game lineup.
No, it's
No, it's PC,
Bro, it's gonna be
PS4,
for the next gen after
Steam,
this
and
one.
Xbox One.
Xbox One. Okay, because I was like seeing pictures of Vin Diesel and the new Xbox together. I'm like, what's going on here?
He see, they lied to him. They told him he'd be on next gen. It's like, we can't lie to him so we can get it out.
Just get
He's
him out
like, I can't wait for this game to come out on Xbox X Series. It's gonna be awesome. Family.
You can't bring Corona on the stage.
I can do what I want, bitch.
You know. Look, the game will be worth it if the end of the game they
It's
have
fucking ridiculous.
No. The end of the game they have a cookout.
And then you see all the missing characters show
They probably paid him for like that one-time cameo.
up. That bit with that one where he's like, hide the baby oil. He's like,
What's
the sunblock for the head.
Oh man.
Okay. Okay, so the studio is going to be it's Slightly Mad Studios.
Mm-hmm.
Why not completely mad?
Hey, that's what they want to go with.
They want to
and I mean, and if you don't know them, they're just known for doing racing games. That's like their thing. So they did like Need for Speed. They did Shift 2.
What did I say? When we saw that trailer?
Okay,
They
but
did
then
Project Cars, whatever that is.
Yeah.
You build your own cars,
Okay.
customize them.
And then of course the publisher is Bandai Namco.
oh
They're the
my
one
lord.
that I do remember seeing that. Bandai
That shit
Namco
look like
was
coming out,
publishing it.
looking like Jump Force, bro.
That's why she said she played Tekken. Fine, because Bandai Namco they slipped that dollar in her pocket. Just tell them to play some shit we made. I don't care. She did say Pac-Man or something. She had Tekken.
Tekken
House.
We used to play Tekken a lot.
We used to play Tekken fighting games.
I guess I think I know what she was trying to go for. You know, back then when you had a can, you had to put stuff in it.
Oh, you put it in Tekken.
She remembers playing, Scorpion and Tekken on, the Final Fantasy shit.
Right, that's exactly what was happening at the brain. We are gamers.
I remember
If you
that.
play games, you don't have to tell people you're a gamer. Come on.
They zoomed in
That
on
was
her
great.
face and
That was the dead giveaway. I do the games like everyone else does.
When this man Vin Diesel was like, "Yo, we're in our crowd. This is our people."
I was like, you sure?
You sure you're in the right?
I mean, you play Mario Kart, my guy. Last time I saw him, I see your charger there.
Hey,
Last time I saw him playing anything, it was with Street Sharks.
Right, exactly.
like I know Vin Diesel is a nerd, but like, hey man, that Fast and the Furious pandering is taking over you, man. Because you're giving it everywhere you go is like a bit of pandering here, a bit of pandering there.
Yeah,
Like,
A bit of Corona here, a bit of family here.
it's never-
Right. Everyone's family.
He straight
All one.
It's never genuine with Vin Diesel anymore. It's like
It's not.
No.
It's not.
He's like what Kevin's saying. He straight up said after she went to Kane that I saw the first 4 minutes for the uncut version of the next Fast and Furious.
Bro, like, okay,
I was like,
a video game.
I was like, bro,
He said that.
you. There's no reason if you could just all you have to I'm sorry, rolling over my own mouth here. All you had to say is, hey, I saw a little bit of the upcoming film. Comes out this month. Can't wait for you guys to see it. Done. And you don't have to be like, I saw this. I did this. And blah, blah, blah. Family, where's my Corona?
Barbecue.
Barbecue.
We got 5 more cookouts to go to.
I named my son Brian.
And then we gotta eat. And then we gotta eat 40 pizzas in 30 days.
Oh my god. Anyway.
Don't look at Tyrese model in the game.
Boy, that was Tyrone.
Bro, no.
That was Tyrone. That wasn't
It
Tyrese.
reminded me of that Family Guy bit when Quagmire's like, hey, sweetie. And she turns around and he's like, oh my God, you look so better from the back. Tyrese from the side view. Ooh, he looks good. See him in the front. Who took 2 shovels and slapped them on each side of your head? You okay, cuz? I'm actually worried for you.
Boy, between the blend used on the trucks and the terrible lighting and
the muzzle flashes coming from inside the hand.
Right. Oh my gosh, boy. That thing was looking like
I don't understand. If this is the same
project.
people...
What's up?
Is this the same people that made Project Cars?
Yes.
Need for Speed. Why the cars look like shit?
Because again, I can guarantee
I
it's just one of those things
yeah.
where it's like I need it. I need to show something. The VGAs are coming up. What do you have?
Well, there's something.
So okay.
I'm sure they were sitting there looking at each other like, and Bandai was like, put something together. The shit air tomorrow. Here we go.
They probably like, we ain't got time to render. Batch render.
That's exactly what they did a batch render.
Bandai of America's like slapped together everything.
Yeah, whatever you can give me, just make it sound good.
They basically showed an animatic.
That's exactly what they showed.
Straight
Yeah,
up,
good.
man. Straight
Somebody's
up,
demo
perfect.
reel right there.
That's exactly what it was. Somebody's demo reel
Man, I thought I was
from 2012.
I thought I was watching Need for Speed. Hot Pursuit or Most Wanted when it came out on the PS2. I was like, oh man, this is a classic.
It's a throwback, man.
This is a new game? What the fuck?
Boy, you are sadly mistaken, man.
And then they got them cars looking like Twisted Metal, mounting those guns on top of it. I was just like, what is
I was
this?
still trying to figure that out.
I was like, this isn't Twisted Metal, this is Fast and Furious. You're supposed to drive fast.
Well,
Yeah, but you remember in these later movies, they're going crazy, they fought
They're not James Bond.
submarine.
They
flew. They got jetpacks.
Yeah.
Took on a tank.
there was a baby.
There was a baby at some point in the movie.
For somebody had a spy movie.
Yeah, there's a spy movie. They need Vin Diesel to be undercover. The Rock break through his arm cast.
Bruh.
To shoot one missile out of the sky. Ah!
Right,
No, you skipped the part. He went up to the down drone, ripped the minigun off, and ripped it off.
Oh, that's right.
And then shot the drone
with his broken arm.
Because
it makes sense.
Yeah.
Because you know what?
The Rock versus the
Daddy's
helicopter.
gotta go.
Oh my god, how the shot was.
And he drove the ambulance there. So,
bro, you're forgetting when The Rock and his Ohana family were freaking dragging on.
Oh, for Hobbs and Shaw.
Hobbs and Shaw. Trailers in a fucking helicopter. Oh my god.
That scene with the 5 cars hanging off the thing.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He one-handed
it's
Captain
apparent
America.
that The Rock hates helicopters. All right. So let's get back to the game. Let's get back to the VGA real quick. Jacob, real quick. I want to run through this list.
Yeah, I want to say something real quick. I guess that game was to show us something so that we could prepare ourselves for the Fast and Furious Spy Racers Netflix show.
Yeah, I'm prepared for it right now. I know it's gonna
You
be
know
ass.
what? You know what?
No, look, hold
prepared
on.
to
I'd
not
rather
watch
watch Spy Racers.
I'd
rather watch that Spy Racer thing than play that game because that game looks like
You'll
someone
regret
just
that
went
decision.
with a line of coke and was like, "Let's make it fast. Let's make it
You
fast."
will regret that decision.
Look,
You know what? I probably will, but I'll be happier.
let me be nice to him because I followed the guy who's the storyboard artist for it, and he was so proud. Like, hey, look, I knew it would work. And I was like, okay, good for you. Even though,
Well, okay, he did the storyboard.
yeah, I know he did the storyboard.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with that.
Celebrate,
He
working hard.
was telling them where to put the cuts. That's all.
That's it.
You know,
Everything else was on the team.
on this topic,
Uh-huh.
you know, there's some Netflix shows that look kind of not 100%
Well-
quality, but they're good.
Well, let's just go back to the beginning.
But the point I'm getting at is, like you said, you're talking about the storyboard,
Mhm.
and he's focusing more on the story. So the story, if it's good, then people will just be like,
Okay.
visually,
If the story's
it's
good.
aight.
Gotcha.
Best example I can make of is The Prince. Visually, it's aight, but the story's good.
All right. Well,
The
maybe
story's good.
if the game has a great and compelling story, then maybe they may be onto something. We'll have to hear it because I'm not.
Kevin over here is
All right, back to the BGAs.
All right.
I digress. Here we go.
So there's the list
Here's the list.
of who won, whose butt hurts.
Right. So in the first category, well, starting off with Game of the Year, the big top dog, it was out of Outer Worlds, Death Stranding, Super Smash Bros., Resident Evil 2, Control, and Sekiro. And needless to say, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice.
Woo! Good job.
Whoop, took that
Very-
award home
Very
from
surprising.
Activision.
Actually,
Very
I kinda
surprising.
saw
Great
that
game.
one. I saw that
Yeah.
one actually because up until that game came out, I was like, Resident Evil's gonna win this. Resident Evil's gonna win this. And then I saw some of the gameplay, and you guys were constantly talking about it. I was like, Sekiro was gonna take it to the bank.
Yes.
The-
Sekiro was just refreshing.
The thing about it is like it's surprising because it's like that game was never supposed to have the love that it has
Mm-hmm.
because all the time since they're the same people that did Demon Souls and all those
Mm-hmm.
Souls games never got a chance to be in these categories.
Ooh.
So they made a game that everybody kind of widely enjoy, and they
Yeah.
won Game of the Year. That's mind blowing.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, and then again, compared to, Dark Souls and Demon Souls and Bloodborne and all the other games they've made, I mean, to me, Sekiro has a complete story because all those other games, it was kind of whatever.
It's lore driven.
Yeah, it's all lore driven, and you're just in this vast open world, and you decide the path you take and how you go about getting to the final boss, right?
Yeah.
Sekiro, it's more story driven. You need to complete these tasks to progress to this next area. You can go about it however you want, but it's still very story driven. And just being a technical game, and it's a lot more fluid, and you don't feel so hunkered down with armor and plating and giant swords. You can flip, you can throw grappling hooks, you have all these ninja tools at your disposal to fight enemies. And even though it's tough, it's rewarding. I will say that, because I played the game, I have it. And even though I'd be stuck on a boss for like 3 days, I'm like, I hate this goddamn game. I hate this game. And the moment I beat the boss, I was like, oh, this is amazing. I love it. I love it.
So you lived the meme of Filthy Frank, where he's like, when that boss that killed you 500 times, you kill him, take it, you trash.
That's right. And I spit on his dead corpse because he was worthless because I destroyed him.
Eat the dirt, you worthless trash.
All right. Next category, multiplayer game. For the winner for that one, it was Apex Legends.
Taking the crown
Taking the
over.
crown over Borderlands and Tom Clancy and Call of Duty and Tetris, I guess.
Alright.
Well, Tetris 99. That's
That's
don't mess with that, people.
Yeah.
We all talk
Stay
about
woke.
Stay
the fan.
woke. Yeah.
You talk about all the fandoms
Uh-huh.
like Pokemon and all those other
Oh, well,
games.
Tetris is
But
been
the
around
Tetris
forever.
fandom,
Well, they will.
It's serious.
they
It's
They
serious.
don't play
They
neither.
don't play.
They don't play.
They will knock you. Those are the type that will knock. They will actually knock on your door and be like, "What do you say about Tetris?"
Oh, God. I
Let
love
me
Tetris.
show you that 4-corner connection on you.
Oh, Lord. All right. Next was ongoing game. I guess they had to create a category to give an award to Fortnite.
You know what's what's funny is like
They won.
I'm surprised
Whatever.
they Fortnite wasn't in the multiplayer
That's what I'm saying.
because last year they won. I guess they
gotcha.
need something for outgoing.
Right. So they just threw in another word to give it to Fortnite. So good
But
job.
where's
Epic Games.
Overwatch? But
It's not on
hey,
Yeah, they're working on Overwatch too.
For narrative, it was Disco Elysium. I don't know much about this game. I'll have to look it up.
it is an indie
Same.
title.
It is an indie title, which is
It
nice.
sounds interesting, honestly.
Yep, compared to the other games it was up against. It's
Death
nice to know that an
Stranding.
indie game won. Yeah, Death Stranding, Outer Worlds, A Plague Tale, Control.
Playing
So-
rats.
Outer
and
Worlds,
against rats.
pretty good game.
And then
So I-
performance.
For performance,
Hannibal himself.
Yes, Mads Mikkelsen. Mikkelsen, all right. For Death Stranding, he won that category. He beat Norman Reedus, who's the main character in the game, but all right.
That makes
Alright.
sense.
But I guess he's a really great villain in the story. So, I mean, you can't have a hero without a compelling villain.
Mhm.
So that makes sense. All right. Great job, man.
I think at that point it's all the fans that voted this, right?
Probably so. Yeah. Esports
esports.
player, I'd care less. Content creator of the year, man. Sports and racing game, Crash Team Racing, Nitro Fueled.
You're damn right.
That's right. They beat out Dirt Rally and
FIFA?
FIFA.
FIFA 20.
I
mean,
Well, it's
all they do is
sports
update
slash
the rust-
racing.
Yeah, sports slash racing. So, yeah, and football, Pro Evolution.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I don't know.
Score and soundtrack,
Soundtrack.
Death Stranding. Okay, that's
'Cause
awesome.
the music is good.
All right, so that means they got a beautiful soundtrack.
That's
Land, you'll like it. I listened to a few songs.
Yeah, and just the
One-
ambiance and
Yeah,
the
I-
Like
atmosphere.
a day before the game
That's always
came out,
important.
they dropped like the main theme, and then they dropped two other tracks.
Uh
I listened to that. I was like, Lamb's gonna love this.
huh. So eventually, Kojima is going to have a big orchestra playing Death Stranding,
Of course.
just like they did for Metal Gear.
It's Kojima.
Yeah.
Death Stranding is about surviving the elements, all right? You gotta have that
Yeah.
orchestratic music about loneliness and survival, all right?
That's right.
Yeah.
And you got to play as Sam going around delivering UPS.
That's right. That's right. Don't be mad UPS is hiring.
That's right. For fighting game, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate one. I'm not surprised compared to what was on the list.
The most controversial, whoever picked this is somebody
Whoever.
needs to die right now.
Look,
This is
listen.
assassination. This is a political hit right now.
Listen.
For whoever vote this in.
You are dumb. You are stupid. You are this other word I'm probably not going to say because it'll get us in trouble.
It's Bandai Namco. They gave us Fast and Furious.
They gave us Fast and Furious Crossroads.
But hold on,
But
which
it's
band
Jump
on Namco? Is that America? Because that's Japan.
You know, that's
Okay.
true. That is true.
There's
So
two
my
bad
thing-
guys.
So that was the other one's probably like it's still the same. company.
Whatever, still under
Still the same
Bandai.
company, but I'm just
Still
saying.
Bandai.
Bandai,
Namco.
okay.
Whatever.
But Smash Bros. Woo!
All right.
Which is
Smash Bros.
also
went on there.
Bandai too.
So,
Surprisingly.
well, the game was Jump Force for those who
Yeah,
wondering.
Which I don't know how it's on the list.
Isn't for fighting games.
So yeah, Smash Bros. Went against them, Samurai Showdown, DOA 6, and MK11. I mean, out of that list, I would say MK11 would be the closest other one.
Yeah.
It is pretty good. I'm playing it currently. But yeah.
Terminator.
So games for impact.
That makes you cry or feel some sort of
Yes,
way.
more or
Games
less.
with feels. Yeah,
Games with feels.
The experience games.
there we go.
I get- like
is
flour.
Gris. Is that how you pronounce that? Gris. Oh,
yes.
Gris.
Gris. I thought that said girl. And I was like,
All right.
Girl, you reread that.
Now, Lamp, you bought this game, right?
I did
All right.
recently, and I have not even touched it yet.
All right. So when you get a chance to play it, you have to give us a review
Oh,
or
yes.
post some gameplay footage.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So we can check it out. Yeah,
I
I'm
would-
curious
just
to
like
see
that game we're playing right now.
What happened?
Oh my god. Indivisible?
Indivisible.
Oh,
Indivisible.
Christ, oh my.
He bought that game. We're the one playing.
No, I'll play this one. I don't care. I want to give it a try.
All right. Well,
Jacob, we're
what else
struggling.
topic we got up here?
All right.
Mobile game. Call of Duty mobile. All right, great. Action adventure. Went back to Sekiro.
Yep.
Shadows Die Twice.
It'd be
Stuff.
Borderlands 3, Resident Evil 2, Control, Death Stranding. I don't even know why Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening is in it, honestly.
It's a remake.
It's a remake,
but they
but
gotta put something.
They gotta
I mean, they want to put Jump Force.
We using Jump Force apparently, so we filling slots.
We filling slots.
We filling slots.
Like at that point, we're filling slots because we know who wins.
Yeah.
For best audio design, it went to Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Which
Damn
is
right.
Which is fine because they always have good
Best,
sound
They,
design.
Right.
they got
guns.
professionals to help out this time. I
I
was
would
watching
assume.
some behind the scenes stuff.
Uh huh.
They got professional SEALs to come in, and they were like, "That's not what a gun sounds like.
Well,
That's
damn.
not what that sounds like."
All right, and so
They straight up like redid all the
Everything.
sound effects with
That's
it.
awesome. That's dope. Okay. Art direction. So something new, something different. That went under Control.
The company Control
Yeah.
505.
Control. If you guys don't know, Control is just a game about like this basic synopsis is like this like a woman that's like has the ability to like obviously control.
Oh, is that one?
They made that
second
quantum
dimension.
break. They
Yeah.
made quantum break.
Yeah, sort of like that.
There you
Yeah.
go.
So
There you
Yeah,
go.
it's
She can
it has pretty cool
move stuff.
mechanics too.
it's the psycho thriller of version of Quantum Break
Okay.
because there's a woman, she's looking for something, and she could
She's
use
looking for like
psychic
a brother or
powers.
sister or something like that.
She used psychic powers, and you have to sneak from the evil thing.
Right. Whatever.
If anything, Akira the game.
There you go.
Pretty, yeah.
As close as it could get.
Studio and game direction went to Sony Interactive Entertainment and Kojima Productions.
Good job.
All right.
Esports, don't give a shit.
No kidding.
Esports
Best
coach,
esports
don't give a shit.
That's
All
like
right,
very.
don't
You
die,
know
keep
what?
playing.
I don't want to get. Don't want to
die,
get
keep
people
playing.
mad. Keep it.
Debut indie game. Okay. This one that won earlier, Disco Elysium.
Disco release.
Yeah.
Check this
Oh
one
man, it beat
The
the
Untitled Goose
the
Game.
Untitled Goose Game.
Yeah.
The game when you're a goose asshole.
Your face of being an absolute asshole.
Man, some
Did
of
you
the
see
people
that
playing
bit?
that game.
So in the VGA, there was a bit when they were
With the
talking
Muppets,
about
yeah.
this. It had the Muppets. So it was
I forgot his name. That's all.
The professor
the professor
Yeah.
and Beaker.
and Beaker, yeah. And they had the goose there with them, and the goose was messing up, grabbing stuff, and Beaker was chasing the goose. And it was cute.
It was
funny.
great.
Yeah.
I liked it.
They need some jobs because Disney's not gonna do anything.
Nah,
Nah,
Disney's not
yeah.
using Muppets.
That's why do you think they're doing all these commercials?
Exactly.
They need to pay their bills. Muppets pay
For
Family
best
game.
family game, Luigi's Mansion 3.
Ooh, good job out of all the Nintendo games.
bills. I know, right?
It was either between that, Super Mario Maker 2, Yoshi's Crafted World, Ring Fit Adventure, or Super Smash Bros. Your pick of Nintendo.
Triple coin. Best esport host, don't care.
All right.
Esport game, don't care.
LOL.
Strategy game, Fire Emblem Tree Houses.
All three.
All
Or
three-
three
all
cheeses.
three.
Huh?
Or three cheeses.
Or
Yep.
3 cheeses.
All three of them.
All right.
Those are sexy boys.
It's a good game.
Very good strategy game.
Are we gonna beat it soon?
I will. I don't know about you, my dad. Best
Alright.
esports team, don't care.
GG
Action
Rebels.
game, Devil May Cry 5.
Ooh, nice. Devil May Cry
Good
5
job.
got best action game. That's what's up. Very fun game.
Very fun.
Very fun game. Astro Chain, I'm interested in checking.
Yeah, that one is like
Put that on the
future.
back burner.
That is
And-
platinum on its best.
Yeah.
And
Astro
also Metro. Yeah. Astro Chain is like Bayonetta, so time saver before Bayonetta 3
No,
comes
no,
out. It's just
no,
so like that. Just keep yourself close.
It's like Bayonetta and then Hero 101.
And Devil May
Okay,
Cry.
Hero
Yeah,
101.
no, it's just this. It has all that.
If
stuff.
anything, I'm just glad that Metro Exodus got nominated. I like the Metroid series. I haven't played this one yet, though.
Alright, keep it rolling. RPG went to Disco
That's the third
Elysium.
one.
Alright, this game's on point. I'm going to check
Yeah,
this one
man.
out.
Yeah,
Alright,
they
check it
beat
Beat
up.
out Kingdom Hearts 3, Monster
Yeah.
Hunter, Final
Mhm.
Fantasy, and the Outer Worlds. This
Yeah,
game must be
okay.
really on this thing. I'll have to definitely check it out.
No, next year's gonna be a hard game of the year too. We got all these new games. No,
The independent game, Disco Elysium, one
Okay.
again.
Again.
that's like 4 awards then.
Yeah.
Yeah, Untitled
Yeah,
Goose
fine.
Game, man. It's
VR game, Beat Your Beat Saber. Alright.
I guess VR.
Community
Pretty
support.
much the carriers.
The carriers, the people that are keeping the game alive. Destiny 2 on that one.
Have mercy.
The life support team.
The That's exactly what that means. The life support team.
The award for best life support game
goes to
Destiny 2. I mean, the cover art pretty much.
I know, right? Pretty much sums it up. The cover art.
The fans are the one that's holding the game alive.
Look, I know you guys have something to say, but we're still alive.
Yep.
And yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, that was it. Okay.
Good job.
So,
Video Games Awards 2019.
Woo.
No Smash reveal. I mean, I guess because they've been Diesel.
Vin Diesel for Smash and Tekken.
His ultimate.
I want Tekken and Vin Diesel on the next Smash roster.
That's right. You heard about Tekken 2 coming out? After the Tekken 1,
No.
there's Tekken 2.
This is going to be great. Great year. And then wrapping it up is going to be... Oh, we have Klaus. So I know we mentioned this earlier about the Golden Globes and why it should be one of the nominees, and to kind of delve a little deeper into Klaus. Jacob, you want to start us off? Oh, what happened?
No, I'll give it to Lamp.
Are you sure? I mean, I want
to hear the good before you
Yeah,
complain.
me too. Before I complain.
Yeah. Let's
I know
hear the nice.
he's just gonna
Let's
jump
hear all
into
the
why.
niceness.
Yeah,
of
fluff it up
this.
for us. Fluff it up
That's
for us.
right.
Give us a
Be a good
flat.
Be a great politician right now.
Okay. I cannot tell a lie.
Get out of here.
Well, Klaus, to me, it's definitely worth to watch. It, like, going into it, you know, they had a teaser trailer years ago, and they kind of changed things up with the main character, Jesper.
Jesper,
And his voice actor was kind of like British sounding.
Mm-hmm.
And now here they changed it up to sound more to his character.
Mm-hmm.
And he's kind of like selfish in a way, and
Right.
And basically, this is kind of like a retelling of Santa Claus.
Okay.
With
like
a melon
origin.
man.
Right. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
origin.
And going into it, I'm like, wow, like, this is amazing. This is breathtaking. Like, you won't see anything like this in terms of, like, visual eye candy in the 2D animation realm. I mean, of course, we got Japan in different works, but, like, it hasn't been... how should I say it? It hasn't been something close to this in years that we've seen like so much love and passion being worked into this, where you're like, wow, like this is something new that we definitely needed, because I know they use some different traditional methods, but they put new elements into it, and that's kind of like the great thing that I love about this studio, like Spa Studios, SPA, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They're really well known for their great works, and oh man, this movie was.
What else have they worked on?
Well, I don't know too much about that. I'll look it up real quick.
Well, no, keep talking. We'll check it out.
All I care
I
about
don't
is
want to throw
Klaus.
off.
Yeah, but like after seeing the movie, like the sound design, like the characters, the story, of course, it had this misses, but other than that, it compensated for it with the excellent animation and the interaction with the characters and the world building. Oh my gosh, it was amazing. The texturing, the lighting, oh my gosh. Ooh, this is something that you definitely want to try yourself. Like, this is going to take some years. But it makes you want to sit down and create your own series or your own content.
It's inspirational.
It's definitely inspirational. It's motivational, all in itself. Like, and then oh my gosh! After finishing it, I just had to sit down and like, I had to like stay in my seat. And I'm like, wow, this took my breath away. I can't find nothing like this that made me feel like this. I was like going into like their Twitter handles, like the animators who worked on this movie, and I'm just looking at their process, their breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
Every single time, I'm like, wow, so this is how they did it. I'm like, oh, dang, because the thing is, they use Toon Boom.
Oh, they use Toon Boom.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm like, wow.
And there's no 3D elements in it, I think.
No
No.
3D. Well,
And they look like 3D.
No 3D?
I don't think there's 3D in there.
No, there was a 3D shot. I'll tell you that, because that one threw me off. I was like, hold the fuck up. But first, the positives.
Yeah.
Positive with Jacob. And then I'm going to tear that ass up.
Well, Well, while Jacob's looking into that, I do want to add that the director Sergio Pablos.
Yeah.
He also worked on a lot of other famous animations, such as Aladdin, The Hunchback of Notre Dame. He did Hercules, and he did Tarzan.
Hey.
So you can kind of see his style, and from the previous films he worked on, the man is he's definitely talented, and he knows his craft. So that definitely played a part in this movie.
It is Disney-esque.
It is Disney-esque,
but has some elements
has
of
more personality.
It does have more personality.
It's not like a set. It doesn't follow the Disney mold.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the characters have a little bit more personalities, and when they do certain facial expressions, like the teacher,
right?
When she's like studying these dumb kids, and she's like, ugh. It's like she's looking mean and whatnot.
All
so
right.
it looks really cool.
Yeah, no, it does. It was really good.
Oh yeah, sorry. Turns out it's not 3D. They didn't use any 3D shots.
No. You sure?
Yeah, I looked it up.
That's
well, the original teaser for this came out like in 2015, and they were trying to push for it, but a lot of studios, because of the time that went into making it and how much time he needed to finish it, they just felt like it was going to be too expensive and too risky, and they just didn't want to take that chance on him. And so eventually Netflix bought the global rights to Klaus, and then they're the ones that kind of footed the bill to help complete it. But yeah, I was looking it up too, and yeah, it's all animated, man. All 2D animated. It's just the way he does the lighting and the angles and the coloring. It gives that 3D effect.
No, I know, but like there was one shot.
Okay.
When he was like on the, like, it was like when, okay, so I remember when he was like on his desk or whatever. He like already almost gave up with the whole riding the roads in the town.
Mm-hmm.
Then he saw like a fold of the map. He pushed it up with the broom, and he saw there was like another town, like a small area up there. He's like, what that area is, and then the guy's like, oh, it's like the wooden cabins in the woods or whatever. And he's like the whole transition from like the map to like him actually writing, it was like a whole full 3D rotation. And I remembered that because I remember seeing like the wheels and like the I was like seeing like the mountains being 3D and stuff. And it just didn't look right. I remember it didn't look right. Like everything else, like all the rotations in the entire film looked beautiful, perfect, excellent. But that one shot it just felt really off.
Okay.
I mean, if anything,
I gotta show it to you.
We gotta look at it.
Well, then we'll pose the question: who's right, Lamp or Jacob? Was it 3D? Was there no 3D in the movie?
Right.
Then that's the thing. That would probably be like, it's probably not 3D, but it's probably like the way the Toon Moon probably they use like some 3D kind of way of the camera, but everything else is just.
Maybe
just lighting and shading, right?
Lighting and shading. So it's
kind
of like
illusion of 3D.
It's kind of like the test footage for the Brave toaster when they were trying to test out the 3D, but it's still 2D. It just has a more 3D feel because they made essentially a box which is actually 3D,
right?
And everything else they just hand painted.
It's kind of like a 2D.5 type of look.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
But like in Toon Boom, you could do all those type of stuff. Like you could go ahead and like use the camera to your advantage. You could use multiplanes and all that type of stuff.
And I think that's the thing. I think he kind of did what John Lasseter did to make 3D, with, like the Brave Toaster.
Mm-hmm.
And so since nobody was doing that because people were not thinking at the time.
Right.
He just like, you know what? I'm going to try how he did for the Brave Toaster and do it for this and see how it works.
Mm-hmm.
He made something really inspiring. Which is funny because when I watch it, man, this is still going to the positives. I was skeptical because I saw it. I was like, oh, no, the greatest movie! Man, I don't want to watch this. And then I pressed play because then I saw the characters like, oh, this is the one this is the characters they showed us when we were at school. I was like, they made that. It's actually a movie. As I pressed play and I was expecting, some bullshit or something. And after that, I sat there and I was just watching the movie. And then I didn't realize I was halfway through the movie. I was like, oh wow,
Yeah.
wow, this is pretty good. This is pretty good. I quite enjoy it for a Christmas movie.
What I will say is that the teaser that we got to see back in school, I mean, most of the stuff that they used some stuff for the final product. That was just a test. And I'm like, oh, okay. Wow. This is not really, everything's not really in there in the final product. But like, when I went down to see the works and breakdowns of the animators that worked on it, I'm looking at all the process. They wanted to test it out, see how they got to try to get the feel of the characters and the way the production was handled. And, down the line, you see the beginning stages, you know how everything is. Like, you see pencil tests and stuff like that.
Right.
And the final product, right, it was just like, it was definitely worth it. And I would say one thing, like, the music choices, some music selections didn't really fit. But the animation distracted you enough so that you won't have to pay attention to it. And I think that worked. And Klaus definitely should have been the Golden Globes. Like,
That's right. That's right. All right, Lamp. Let's hear what you got.
All right, first let me tell you all the good things about this movie. All right, this movie is a godsend. All right, if you have not seen this movie or heard of it, here it is. Klaus is on Netflix. It's a Christmas movie. It's about the origins of Santa Claus. Watch it, please. It is like one of the most beautiful animation I've ever seen all year.
And if you're an animation fan,
if you're an animation fan,
you don't watch this, you're doing the disservice to yourself.
Yeah, you are.
And your
you
friends.
really are. You really
watch
are.
it. So the good of this movie, oh my god! Obviously, the animation, hands down, so beautiful, so fluid, so good. And then the character designs are just so unique. They're expressive. They're beautiful. They have their own distinct personalities. All the characters have these beautiful shadings. The lightings of the whole environment. The backgrounds are beautiful, amazing. The particle effects, all that stuff is just wonderful. It's eye candy, man. It doesn't even feel like a Christmas movie until like they actually start getting into Christmas, like talking about Christmas.
Right.
It's like, oh shit, now we're in the meat of it. And it's like,
yeah, I like that too. That they kind of hold off on the Christmas theme until like towards the end.
Oh my god! And the voice acting is beautiful. The music, they had some weird choices.
Yeah.
Just like that one time when like we were telling the kid about the naughty list, and then he was leaving and had that sort of like hip hop, don't mess with the postman. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Hello?
That was a little modern twist.
Yeah, I mean.
Hey, we're cool. We're hip.
That takes you out of it so fast.
Yeah, we're up on time.
But it still grabbed me. It still grabbed me. And I'm gonna say with the positive right now, like all the main characters are great. Was it Jasper?
Jasper
is great. The lady, like what Kevin said was like she was like she had so much expression that I loved so much. She like when you first see her, you're like, holy crap. Obviously the love interest, like, oh, she's probably gonna be like, oh, I love this guy and all that stuff. But like the way she like gradually goes into like to being his, his love interest. It's the beautiful, gradual thing. Like, you don't see it throughout the movie all the time, but, like, you feel it. Mm-hmm. Like, the way they express it is, like, she hates him, but not as much as she used to. And then over time, she's like, oh, that's the guy who pretty much changed everything. I'm having feelings for this man. Let me go a step back. And then, like, when she, like, things like start getting, like, more personal. And, it's like, oh, this is so good. It's so cute. and speaking of cute, oh my god, the cutest little girl I've ever seen in my life. That little girl with the little hat. Oh my god.
I want to stay on the record that if you have an animation and there's a very cute little girl,
just a cute character in general, you killed me, bro. Oh my god.
Get praises for that for days.
Period. Period, man.
Yeah, I'll say I did like
and that's the only legal way of
Lord, please don't kick in the door.
Don't do this.
Don't kick in the door. I will say one of my favorite characters was the little girl, but the little crazy one that looked like she was like a little psychopath.
The Adam Family ripoff?
Yeah, she had the big eyes.
Yeah.
She kept stabbing the carrots into the snowman really slow.
Right.
And she was looking at Jesper with those big eyes. She was like, then there was another scene where they're fighting. The two families are feuding, and there's like a bunch of dust and debris.
Yeah.
And he's trying to make his way do it, and he looks down and he sees a little girl again, and she just looks at him while she's walking with the knife, and she's running into the crowd. Like, what the heck? She was so creepy, but she was great. I just every time we see her, she was doing something weird.
Yep.
It was just funny.
My God. But fuck her, that little girl. Oh my God, man. What? Oh my God. Like, let me just tell you this one thing. It's, spoilers a little bit. I don't care, but like,
it's on
like,
Netflix.
Like she comes through, right? She like sitting on the porch, and she just want a little present from Santa, a little Saint Nick, you know.
All right.
I'm sorry, like this girl is so cute, bro. Like fuck Boo from Monster Inc. Man, that ain't nothing.
Oh.
And then like she don't speak English, you know. She speaks some other foreign language.
Yeah.
And all she want to do is like get a present too, because all the kids are getting presents and they're all doing good stuff, and she want a present too. But she can't speak to Klaus. And like over time, like Klaus keep on like, ignoring her, like she don't have the money to like pay off for or his plot is or whatever, which I'm gonna get to because that's the annoying part. And like eventually Klaus like sort of sees her as like the way to like, you know, verbally like speak to somebody to like, you know, express his problems so he can like, you know, clear out his mind and everything. And after, you know, sitting down and actually talking to her, he realized, all right, you know what, fuck it, let me go ahead and try to learn your language so I could like see what is it that you want. And then he goes to the teacher, and that's how the teacher and him, you know, get a lot closer by trying to, you know, teach the kid how to write and how to, you know, speak a little bit of English so they can understand her and she can understand them or whatever.
Yeah.
And, you know, all she wanted was a little boat. That's all she wanted, right? And then Klaus, like, after, like, the whole feud, whatever, what happened with,
Jasper.
I'm sorry, yeah. Jasper.
Yeah.
Well, after the whole feud that happened between Jasper and Klaus, you know, after that, and, you know, all the toy things and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And, you know, he decides, you know, he takes it on himself, right? Like, all right, Klaus not gonna do it, I'll make the toy for the little girl, all right?
Yeah.
He started making the toy, he making an ass looking toy, and, you know, Klaus comes in, and he comes in, he's looking at the toy like, at least he's trying. Take the toy, he helps make the toy, they make the toy together, they plant it on her little house, they run back, they go to sleep, they wake up, they see her coming, you're like, oh my God, it's so cute! When I saw that, I literally cried, bro. Oh my God. It was so adorable. And her family was like, oh, let's go up. And she was like riding, she was just sliding and then, oh she was so cute. She was my everything in that movie, bro. Oh my God.
Now
for the part
can we get the real thing?
I know, right?
All right. So let me.
Wow, look, he's a real politician, just fluffing it up.
Bro,
Right.
but that girl was so cute, man. All right, so like, here's my main problem with this story. It's like this would have been the perfect Christmas movie had they not have done just one thing, the whole reveal plot thing. You know, like he has a goal that he wants to do, which is like sort of selfish, and you know, like he keeps it to himself, and then it's not meant to be shared with others, but someone else finds it, they reveal it to the other, and like, oh, so you're like that. You're this greedy, stingy guy, and it's like, no, it's not like that. You gotta understand. And, you know, the whole change of character stuff. I hate that plot so fucking much, man. Like, I hate the lie reveal plot. So, not even just, I mean, it's not a lie reveal, but it's just like, you know, like hidden intention reveal, whatever kind of reveal it is. I hate that cliche so much. It ruins so many movies because, for one thing, why I thought this would have been a perfect, like, Christmas movie is because, just little, side, tangent, think about The Grinch, right? Like, the original Grinch. You know, it's a film that you could watch all the time. So, like, pretty much the regular plot is the Grinch, he hates the Christmas because he hates the people who, like, celebrate it, makes too much noise, all that stuff that he doesn't like. So one day he decides, all right, you know what? Fuck them. I'm going to go take Christmas from them, you know? I'm going to go steal their stuff. And
We're not ski masks?
Yeah. And then he's like, all right, so I'll take their Christmas away from them. And they'll be like sad and crying. And I can't wait for that. That's what I want. But at the end, it's like, then they come out, they sing, and they're like, we don't need no presents. We don't need no decorations. This is what it's about. It's about us and family, you know? And everyone's happy. He realizes, oh, it's not, Christmas is not about, you know, presents and all that stuff. It's about being together and being happy. And that made him emotional. You write the present like, all right, guys, here you go. Let's have a good day, everyone. You know? Easy. You can watch that movie over and over and over again.
That's
and it'll
why it's a
still
masterpiece.
keep, and it'll still keep that, it'll still keep you engaged.
Mm-hmm.
But with that plot, with the whole lie reveal, you already know the problem, you know? You already know what's being hidden. You already know what's the problem is gonna be at the end, that gonna make the conflict, you know, make the whatever climactic battle. Honestly, even the whole feud between the two sides of the villages, they don't really need that. They really don't really need that because overall, it was generally Klaus's experience from being this overly pampered, sort of personal guy into changing into someone who's
Jesper.
I'm sorry, I keep
Klaus
getting
is the man.
All right, before I
I
continue on, I'm just gonna change his name to Cusco because his personality reminds me of Emperor Cusco from Emperor's New Groove.
Yeah.
It just does because that's the way they act and stuff. So Cusco, he's like it's his story about like changing from this guy who's only thinking about himself to thinking about other people because like in the movie he pretty much changed the whole village because of his plot of just wanting to go home by getting money to like leave. But the thing is like with the villages, like I'm saying that part is not needed because they could have easily like have like some sort of conflict between the villagers. It doesn't have to be like this over backstory of heritage of like people fighting just to like hate each other. It could literally just be like, oh, this town just like has like a whole bunch of hate or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody likes each other that much, and Klaus comes in and he's like, damn, I want to get out of here
because it's miserable.
Yeah, exactly. It's miserable, and he just wants to leave. But then like the story continues, and then he get the paper. He meets his Klaus. Cusco, does his whole routine and whatever. They have to get the first toy to their first kid. And they started, spreading the rumors of Santa Claus. All that stuff could go on without the whole family feuding. And, like, they'll still be mad at each other. But, like, when the guy, when the kid, they were playing with each other, the two opposite kids.
Yeah.
It still could have been the same thing. But it didn't have to be, like, opposite. Just, like, people that they didn't like. But then they do was, like, gradually get used to each other because, they're helping each other. The kids are helping the old man. He wrote that those kids are not that bad. They're the kids from the other side are like giving the woman from the other side like berries and stuff, and she's like, "Oh, I don't like y'all, but that's pretty nice. So I guess I should return the favor. Here, this batch of jam.
Right.
I don't here. You guys picked it for me, so here, just take it. I don't like y'all. It's like, oh, that's nice, but I don't like you neither. So here's this blueberry pie or whatever. Here, take it. It's like it goes back and forth, but they're still doing nice things to each other, and that's. Like, that whole conflict thing that was really never, honestly, really wasn't needed. Mm-hmm. And, like, even the climax wasn't even needed neither. Because, like, all that was needed was just Klaus's coming in. I think he said Klaus, man. Cusco.
Jasper.
I can't. Because if I say Jasper, I'm thinking about, Universe. I'm thinking about Casper.
Then think about that. That's fine.
Whatever. Cusco. I'm calling him Cusco. And Cusco's, all this needs, like, Cusco to come in.
What you wanted was sort of like the Grinch, just him be as he was, because I kind of agree with you. He's like, he was just a pampered guy. They forced him to go to this place, and and he hates it because he saw how miserable it is.
Yeah, it's terrible later, but it is.
And so he made up plans to leave. But once he was doing that, he was starting to fall in love with everybody in the village and Klaus, and all the routine he was doing. And so when the reveal with like, hey, you did a good job, now you could go back, and I'm like, oh, and then everybody's like, you wanted to go back, and they all change their attitude
and just turns back,
and they don't want to listen to why he did the plan in the first place.
And with that, you can't even watch it over and over again because it's just like what's gonna come up, like I said before, and like once that climax come in, it's like you can literally just watch it from a beginning all the way to that climax before the climax happens, and the movie will be fine. Like and you like cut out that whole thing and just like the ending, and then that's it. Because then you can like watch it over and over again. It'll be like a timeless classic of just like a tale of someone changing over time just for the holidays, just for the kids of the village, and then it actually brought everyone together because that's what his goal did. That's what his plan did. It brought everyone together. So, like, just besides thinking about the money and just trying to leave and his whole father situation, you just decide, like, you know what? This is a good place for me. This is, like, that happy moral and just end it there. But they had to, like, add this and add that and all this Hollywood bullshit plot, and that just
What Hollywood plot?
the lie reveal.
But that's just like that's the problem. That's just the cliche they use.
All right, they say that's it.
I mean, well, are you done?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So keep in mind, this is a children's movie.
I get.
And so to me, the goal, because when I do watch these movies, I always keep that in the back burner, even if I don't like the cliches or the corny writing, or I can see that coming a mile away. Here we go. Here's the big reveal. He's gonna work hard and do good, and then they're gonna find out he had ill intentions in the beginning, and he's gonna try to, show him that he's changed and blah blah blah, and the feuding families and yada yada. So again, they put these simple stories in place so that way, children can understand them. Because I think the goal of the movie was, there were two goals in this movie. The first one with the feuding families, it's kind of like the Hatfields and the McCoys. I don't know if you guys know about the Hatfields and McCoys in U.S. history or whatever. There were just two fighting families, right? And it just got to the point that they were just fighting each other for so long, nobody knew why they were fighting in the first place. Because hate breeds hate. Right? And in order for me to defeat hate, I have to change my way of thinking and try to, do something different, because we're getting nowhere. We're going to fight until the end of time, and then eventually both sides are going to burn out, and then we're all dead. So with the little kids being nice to each other, because the one kid wrote the letter, he got a toy frog, he played with the other little girl, and then, vice versa, then she got something, and then she was playing, and then the kids started doing nice things. So it starts with the little ones. The kids have to make the change and the difference. So that way when the adults saw it, they were like, now we look like idiots. Yeah. Like, we're fighting and the kids are teaching us how we look bad. So now we got to change and do better for our kids for the future. So that was like lesson number one that they were trying to teach people. Which is fine, right? I guess. But they still could do that without the whole family. Okay, how would they do that without the whole family? I mean, just have them all be assholes. They all just don't like each other. Yeah, they didn't. Yeah, they had to change it. But why?
I think what it is, your conflict with it is the way they had to at some point they had to focus on the family, right? To do this little climax of them still being hating on each other, even though at the end their children, they get married, right? And get together. So that aspect is kind of like. Well, you were right. It's about the kids coming together, but once they need to make a climax, they're like, "All right, forget about that. Just have them back again to be angry one last time, and then have them be happy and make up for whatever reason because Christmas." Yep. Right. Yeah. The spirit of Christmas. Yep. That's why I said you got to keep the kids in mind. They can't make it so advanced to the point where the kids are like, I don't get the plot. I don't understand what's happening. Now you're having a 2-hour conversation with your child, trying to explain to them what the concept. Like if a kid watches this, they're like, oh, I get it. You just got to be nice. You shouldn't fight if it doesn't make sense. Mm-hmm. Just be good to your neighbor. And I think that was the goal, right? So that was message number one they were trying to send, right? Mm-hmm. And then message number two with Jasper, because he was spoiled and pampered and he worked for the company that made all the mailmen. And so his dad was pretty much trying to teach him a lesson. Like, you got to get out there and figure out life and make your own way. And then, if you succeed, you can come back. If not, then you're pretty much you're stuck. You're out there. So Jasper was like, all right, let me go here and do something with myself, even if it kills me. And so he saw that he could make profit or gain off of the feuding families. And once he started to fall into the role and he started liking what he was doing and he saw the effect he was having on the kids, and it started changing his, I guess, cold heart, so to speak. And he started working with Klaus and giving them the toys and whatnot. He was like, you know what? This feels good. It feels good to help others and give gifts. And so, with that being said, when the big reveal did happen, he was like, no, look, I can change. That's not me anymore. Yes, that was me, but, here I am. I enjoy this. I really want to help you guys, and I want to stay, and I want to continue. So I think that was the other message they were saying. People can change. Just because I was set in my ways before doesn't mean I can't, be reformed and become a better person and learn from my mistakes, right? You know better, you do better.
And I think that was the second message it was trying to reveal. So no, I get it. Yes, it is one of those movies for us. Like once, I'm not going to watch Klaus 50 more times. I saw it. I love it. The animation is nice. But I know the story and the plot.
I think that's my problem. I think I wish I could do that. That's my main problem. Like, I wish I could watch Klaus more.
Right.
Time as I had to do with the Grinch, so I could keep going back and just reliving all this sweetness of everything and make that Christmas special. Make it a legit Christmas special, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's
well, maybe when little kids watch it, they'll watch it 100 times. Yeah, they get something out of it.
Yeah,
and they enjoy the spirit and the magic that it gave to them watching it for the first time. They're like, now I'm gonna watch this every year.
That's right.
Guess what? I've watched Hocus Pocus every Halloween, and I already know what's going to happen. I already know how that movie's going to end. It ain't a crazy plot plan behind it. So
I'm not expecting that.
It just becomes tradition for some people.
Yeah.
You like The Grinch? Maybe some kids will like Klaus. That'll be their generation's movie.
Oh, humbug.
Right. So on and so forth.
Forget these kids. It's about me. It's about me.
I mean, you're right. I get it. I understand the complaint, but I'm just saying, just look at it this way. It is what it is.
I mean, in my case, I've watched Grandma Ran Over by a Reindeer so many times.
Bro, that's terrible. Why? That's terrible. That's torture.
Grandma's gonna sue the pants off of Santa.
Don't sing that song.
Please don't sing
Don't sing that. I'll murder you.
I hate that song so much.
Murder you right now.
But so the point you watch it a bunch, right?
Yeah.
And other people like, this movie's terrible, but you liked it as a kid.
No,
you got something out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
that, made you.
No, but it's not like that. It's like the plot. I don't even know.
Yeah, you didn't like it because you can't repeat it, and I'm just saying.
No, I'm not.
It's that way. Because
I don't think I'm coming out.
He's getting bullied right here.
I'm not bullied. I'm just telling him.
No, I don't think I'm coming out. I don't think I'm
his opinion.
I don't think I'm coming across properly. Though, that's the thing. I'm not saying that I hate the movie at all.
You just thought the writing could have been. They could have went a different route to still get their point across.
Yeah,
I think
that's all I'm saying. I think they just could have done that because even when Grandma got run over with the reindeer, it's not like there was any plot reveal. I mean, they were obviously with the business people. It's not like a lie reveal.
No, don't use that as an example.
That is a terrible comparison. That is a terrible comparison.
Right.
No, I want to say is that I think what you're trying to say is mostly this. It's like you're right. It's for kids, and that's when they're gonna watch it, they're just gonna enjoy it no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
But for us, as we are people that want to do this stuff, we are seeing it more into that other lens, and so for this movie, it's more so it could have done even better if they just, with those cliches, they could added something new to it instead of just simply just copy and paste it, because they just had something good with the animation.
Right.
They had good with the story too.
Yeah, they had something good with the animation and the story.
Oh, yeah.
Then they should try to avoid that.
Yeah, at least try a little bit.
Just avoid there's gonna have some cliches, but it should at least attempt to
play with it, tinker with it, make it
something clever,
memorable, clever. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
clever, so that it, for whoever wants, whoever that watch it will be like, you know what? Wow, I never thought they would do something more than what I expected.
Anything, that's how I feel. If anything to get crazy, that's how I feel. I just wish they did something more with the plot.
Because when you watch the animation, because this is how I felt when I first watched it. It's the same thing. It's the same thing when I was like, oh, another Christmas movie. Oh, see what I get. When I sit down and I started watching it, I got more out of the animation.
Right.
I didn't care much about the story because I kind of knew the potato, the meat and potatoes of it.
Right.
And when I saw the live reveal, yes, I was like, oh, here we go again. Everybody's gonna turn his back on him, but whatever. And they all, sing Kumbaya.
The girl was there.
The little girl was there to give him advice. So I was really, for me, it was like, the animation was so good that I kind of overlook it.
Mm-hmm.
But if they really like made the story a little bit more than what we always have to expect it is,
Mm-hmm.
I think that movie would have been way better.
By a long shot.
For whatever Christmas movie coming out, it would be like it will blow out of the water.
I think that, yeah.
But since they went basic, they made the animation better. They made that they made the animation 10 times better, but they made the story just ground level.
Right. Yeah. I think that's what it was. They focused more on the quality of the animation and really trying to flesh out this full universe and story.
I know that's what they
Let's build on top of it.
I was expecting that.
I need Klaus, right? I need Klaus 2, 3, 4, 5.
I need the Klaus
7,
universe.
8, 9. Right, exactly.
We need to assemble the seasons.
I will say, as far as the story is concerned, I will say I do like. There was 2 things I did like in the story. As far as how they tied in the whole concept of why the kids write letters to Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that was kind of cool because, it went from him just doing it because that was his job to, all right, we ran out of toys, so now let's just only have them write letters on Christmas so we can make toys on Christmas and that'd be the one time we use it. So I liked how they tied that in. And then...
very clever. That's what I like.
And then I also like the whole broken hero story. I'm always a sucker for the broken hero. So Klaus, because his wife passed away and he had all these toys and they had this dream of having all these kids that they could never have. And so the village kids ended up becoming his kids.
Yeah.
So him giving the toys to them, and it's kind of like he's still living out that dream that his wife had for them. So I thought that was nice.
Look,
That
even though
touched me.
even though that's cliche,
I'm always a sucker for it.
You cannot beat it. It's too strong. It's too strong
for a Christmas movie, bro.
Yes,
it's needed.
Too strong.
That shit is needed.
I know, right?
For the origin of
Santa Claus.
Right,
Santa
there's no Mrs. Claus. She died, and now he's just as.
Did Joker get her too?
Bruh.
Yeah, what happened?
No, I was gonna say.
You know what's funny? I was thinking that's the Santa Claus that Tim Allen killed. To become Santa Claus. Because that's Santa Claus didn't have Mrs. Claus.
That's true. That's the Tim Allen Santa Claus.
The Santa Claus.
Santa Claus.
No, what I was gonna say is at the end when he's going closer to the wind. The particle, the leaf. Yeah. That thing was dope as heck, son.
Bruh, I thought Mr. Claus was gonna lead him to a cliff. I'm coming to you, girl. All right, either way.
That was a beautiful moment when he's I always, those are always, it could always be cheesy when they do the mystical goodbye.
If it's done well, I don't give a shit.
The way it's kind of set up and they did the one thing they did well for it is the atmosphere, how they change it drastically, and how you later on in the scenes you saw him kind of spoiler, he was aging, so he's getting old, and so when he was chopping wood and you just hear the wood with the wind, I was like, oh shit. Oh, getting goosebumps in here. What's happening here?
I know, right?
And then he just put that axe down and he's gone by the wind. Oh man.
It was so well done, bro.
What happened? Wow.
I'm telling you, that movie is beautiful, man. It
is definitely a beautiful film. Mm-hmm. Highly recommend it for anybody that's in there.
Yeah, honestly,
just looking for a good film.
Despite all that rambling I went on about the story and all that stuff, I guess I was.
You're right to say because
I'm always been more of a story person. Yeah, I'm always been more of a story person. But despite all this thing I said about the story, because I still have a problem with it. But Jamal said, Kevin said, everybody else said, it's still a kids movie. They have to keep the plot simple, keep it basic, keep it low to the ground. So you guys just come in, get what you need, and just leave. It does its job well. Period. That's all I can say. If anything, it does its job. It's a Christmas movie. Period. Boom. Watch it once a year. Yeah. That's all you need to do. Once every year.
I don't know why you want to watch it 100 times.
I would love to watch that shit 100 times, bro.
Put it on mute.
Yeah. It's all of the other reindeer.
Exactly.
Just let it play. You draw and you just look at it. You're like, I want to go back. I want to draw just like that.
Right. Let it inspire you, if anything.
You see the girl there, oh!
There you go.
Bro, at the end when he was looking for a Klaus, right? And he was like this talking, I'm like, who's fuck booty named boob, bro?
I don't know what's going on.
Is that a One Piece reference?
No, Boo from Monster Inc.
Oh,
Remember?
yeah.
That goodbye.
That good, yeah, bro. Fuck that goodbye, bro. When she was there, she was so tall. She was all my girl,
All
bro.
Oh,
Is anybody out there who wants to make an animation, make sure to put a cute little girl in there.
yeah.
Little boy or girl. I'm not a priest.
Okay,
please.
well,
I'm not.
all right.
I'm sorry, Jake.
Make sure to what's up?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, make sure you're not too first.
And one thing, one more thing for any aspiring animators out there who want to work on their content. One of the animators who worked on Klaus, he put a PDF file. It's free for everyone to download.
Ooh, stealing that one.
Nice.
About the lessons he learned while working on Klaus. So if you look at that, maybe that could help you out in the long run.
Well, you know what? And that's the true Christmas story.
Exactly.
Right there. Give him back to animator.
Give it back to animator.
All right. Well,
all right. I guess we could retire. I guess we could retire the old claymation Christmas cartoons.
Oh, yeah. Put them up on the shelf in the vault.
Sure.
No more Rudolph the Red
That's
Nose.
right.
Hold on now.
Frosty the Snowman.
Yeah.
Just put one foot in front of the other.
All right. No more want to be a dentist. You know, it's all done with. It's about cost. It's all about the new
Bombo's
toy.
bounce.
Whatever the fuck the Grinch did, don't do that.
Yeah, he's
I
got.
don't know. That Grinch is never going away. So.
Well, you heard. You know, he's got cardiac cancer. His heart grew 3 times the size.
Wow. Okay.
All right. Thank you all for watching this episode of SiXFrame Podcast.
That's right.
We'll see you guys next episode. And just in case you go see us next, I don't know, just in case. Happy holidays, all right?
Yeah, happy holidays. Last time we didn't do one because it was Thanksgiving.
That's
And we
right.
didn't say anything.
I know, right? Yeah. Happy
We
Thanksgiving.
took a bye week.
Thanksgiving. We took a sabbatical. Hey.
We need a break. Hey.
Hey, yeah. It's like a month, yeah?
Shit.
Don't say it out loud. And thank you for listening to another SiXFrame podcast. If you like what you hear and you want to hear more, email us at SiXFramePodcast@gmail.com. That is SiXFramePodcast@gmail.com. You can also catch us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. 6 Frames. Don't forget to rate and follow us on our Apple Podcasts and Podbean. And our YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe to 6 Frames and ring that bell for notifications so you never miss another episode. So what are you waiting for, nerd? Subscribe, like, rate, do all that stuff. And I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.